Assistant Superintendent, Administrative Services. 3.1, Conference with Labor Negotiations. Labor Negotiator Unrepresented, Acting Superintendent, Acting Assistant Superintendent, Human Resources, Interim Assistant Superintendent, Administrative Services. Agency Designated Representative, Todd Robbins, Atkinson, Anderson, Lloyd, Lund, and Ron. 3.4, Conference with Legal Counsel, Anticipated Litigation, Significant Exposure to Litigation pursuant to paragraph D2 of Government Code Section 54956.92 cases. Prop 39, Request for Facilities from Magnolia Public School. Prop 39, Requests for District Facilities from California Republic Leadership Academy. 3.5, Conference with Legal Counsel, Anticipated Litigation, Significant Exposure to Litigation pursuant to paragraph D2 of Government Code Section 54956. Existing litigation, significant exposure to litigation pursuant to paragraph 2 or 3 of subdivision D of section 54956.9, multiple cases, complaints filed by various district employees. 3.7, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation, significant exposure to litigation pursuant to paragraph 2 or 3 of subdivision D of section 54956.9, one case, McAlendon versus PYLUSD. 3.8, claims. General liability claim number 648749 and general liability claim number 6488854. It seems that we have several people wanting to speak tonight. If there's anybody else here that has not filled out a blue card, if you could please do that right now. So we have everyone's cards. We have 32 speakers. Or 33 speakers. So everybody will be given 1 minute. And I just wanted to make a quick statement. I know there's been a lot of interest on social media and things like that out there of our closed session. And I just want to remind everybody that approval of the material revision will not change this year's school at Orange County School of Computer Science, only next school year, just as the denial of this revision does not change the current status of Orange County School of Computer Science this year or next. Okay, so just so we're all talking about, have correct information. So first step, I'll call 4 at a time. Mark Fury, Patrick Coffey, Tifa Beckel, and Nellie Raphael.
Hello, Mark Fury. Obviously, there's probably a lot of confusion going on over the last month of what's been going on. But can you clarify, when you're going to closed session, who is the legal counsel? And I would assume that legal counsel for ongoing litigation would be the legal firm that's been, on staff for a long time. And it seems like there's been a new legal team hired for any new litigation. So if you could just clarify that. And then can somebody just summarize exactly why 7 people are on administrative leave? So the public has a better idea. Thank you.
Patrick?
I am a retired educator. I came back out of retirement to help start the Orange County School of Computer Science. I will say that you need to vote in favor of it. I have never seen a better facility or a better run facility. I've never worked with a better team in 40 years of employment. really all I have to say.
Latif? She not here?
Who? Okay, I think she's.
Okay. Valley?
Well, I've spoken here before about overall operations. Tonight is personal. My kids will attend OCSCS, and as I witness the incredible opportunities available to students, I eagerly anticipate my own children being part of this community. I can already envision the projects they'll create, the care they'll receive from dedicated teachers and staff, and the growth they'll experience in their learning journey. The proposed petition revision seeks changes that are standard among charter schools. OCSCS is the only charter in OC not following these structures, while the other 46 do. Supporting this petition ensures our PYLUSC charter remains competitive and continues to provide outstanding education. Thank you.
The next four, if they can come forward so we can move quickly. Ariana D. And then Wala Ipialon. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Eric. And Beth Fisher.
Hello, proud OCSCS parent here. What an absolutely amazing, exciting, STEAM-forward opportunity for our students in this district. Despite living in Yorba Linda for over 15 years, this is the first time that we have put our daughter in public school. Why? Because until this point, there has never been a school in this district that has challenged and excited her the way that private education has. My daughter wants to be a Disney Imagineer when she grows up. The Innovation Lab at OCSCS is truly the most incredible, well-rounded, amazing opportunity for kids at this school to learn a variety of engineering subjects. It's like Disney Imagineering all wrapped up into one big, beautiful lab. As a Yorba Linda resident, I am so proud that my tax dollars have gone into creating this safe, exciting place for my daughter and other students to create engineering opportunities and learn these skills. And for the first time, we have a school where she longs to go to and looks forward to attending every single day. How many other schools can claim this? Additionally, the teachers that Dr. Fisher have amassed at OCSCS are some of the most incredible, dedicated, hardworking teachers.
Thank you for your time.
Hello to the board members and the community, and I'm a grandparent of the student in this district, and I'm here to speak on behalf of OCSCS. As someone who has seen generations of my family go through different educational systems, and as one who faced significant adversity and lived in a rural indigenous community, I know how important it is for the school to truly serve its community. Good schooling makes a difference, and great schooling can change the outcome of the lives of the kids in ways we cannot imagine. Industry certifications mean faster access to higher paying jobs while students study in college. OCSCS has proven itself as a place where students thrive and innovative learning is happening, and they have grown.
Thank you for your time.
As you can see by the way I'm dressed, I happen to be a pastor, but I'm also a husband and father, and most happily, a grandfather of two grandchildren who do attend school here in the PYLUSD district. The welfare of these grandchildren, indeed, and all of your children, is dear to my heart, and they and you are all in my prayers. The closed session will soon be called where the future of our children hangs in the balance. Dr. Fisher and her very able team have assembled a charter school within the district that is proving to be highly successful in reaching our children, giving them a deepening thirst for learning, and it's yielding great results. But now I fear that bureaucracy is prioritizing the comfort of adults over the resources and learning of our dear children. To you who are the parents behind me here, this OCSC family is important. This is your school. Children who are here, this is your school.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak. Obviously, I think most people know that I have a role as a principal within our schools, and I am a very proud principal of OCSES, but I also stand before you today as a neighbor. So as we go in and look at these changes for OCSES, I would like to advocate not only as a principal, but as a mother of two who will have kids who will attend OCSES. Now I'm going to go back into the principal part of it. I want to thank on behalf of our staff, Trustee Quintero, and I would like our parents to know that Trustee Quintero spent over 3 hours inquiring about the charter school. She marked up the petition documents. And so I know that there are parents watching, and I know you can't really see my face. But so many of you reached out saying that you're at work, but you're going to tune in. So parents, we just want you to know that this is a great opportunity for us to come together in unity, and we look forward to continuing to work together.
The next four speakers, Ali, Corinne. This is Brodowski, or Road,
Jocelyn.
and Ben Stubbs.
Where I come from, school is boring, but my teachers try the best that they can do. At OCSCS, it makes a whole difference, so come together to make OCSCS an even better place. I also want to support Mr. Piano. He used to be my sub, and now he teaches at OCSCS. He makes awesome stuff with a 3D printer and teaches kids how to make hands. He is an amazing teacher, and I hope you will support OCSCS so he can teach me those fun things.
Thank you. Corinne?
There's a accessibility issue, and I'm going to read Corey's,
Okay.
her, speech, and I've read it through once, so pardon me if I can't go as quickly. I know she timed it. Marilyn and Carrie, whatever lawsuits come our way, this is on you. Carrie, you've cost our district millions with your mass lawsuit in 2022, and now illegal cab bonds that homeowners will soon be paying back for fiscal irresponsibility. Marilyn, your illegal actions directing staff to give over confidential claims and handling the documents, and then calling a special board meeting using stolen documents to remove Turnus and Gates was outside of protocols. Now we have more lawsuits coming. The taxpayers are not going to foot the bill for the illegal actions and working outside of your scope as a board member. We demand of PYLUSD is sued Marilyn Anderson and Carrie Buck pay their own attorney fees. How many consultants and employees have to complain and file against Marilyn Anderson complaining of anti-Semitism and racism? We are the first Jewish superintendent and first Black deputy superintendent, and the decision of the board majority was to remove them. Marilyn, how many times have you asked Dr. Turnus if he was Jewish in violation of employment law?
Oh.
The only reason.
Thank you.
There it is. Hi, Ben Stubbs, PYO parent, and good afternoon, members of the board, community, interim superintendent, Dr. Gray. Friends and family, if you expect transparency and integrity from President Anderson, I believe you won't find it. This is already the second closed session meeting that's been called at 3:30 p.m. when most parents are still at work and unaware. Take, for example, the emergency meeting on December 19th, where she followed Apple President Linda Mannion's orders to place our superintendent and assistant superintendent on administrative leave. Then at 11 a.m. on the eve of Christmas Eve, she sent an email to every parent in the district about Dr. Turnus being put on administrative leave, tarnishing his reputation in the eyes of the community. These actions happened swiftly under Trustee Anderson's leadership, too quickly, in my opinion. Friends and family, I'm just a dad, don't take my word for it. As constituents, you have the right to ask President Anderson why she's targeting Dr. Turnus, Dr. Gates, Dr. Fisher, and LCS. Bring back Dr. Turnus.
I want to be loud.
Mrs. Bernowski, is this your card?
I've always been an advocate, especially for those who can't advocate for themselves. Most of you know that I'm a proud parent of Jackson, and he is on the brink of graduating from high school this year. And as we're approaching this time, it's had me reflect upon where we've come from. And it wasn't until I met the leader of this charter school 6 years ago that hope turned into action. It was in this school that I finally found someone who can transform not just Jackson's learning experience, but the culture for all students. Today, I'm honored to serve as a member of the Advisory Council at OCSCS, where I have the privilege of witnessing a vision brought to life. This vision is not just an idea, it's lived in reality, driven by a dedicated staff committed to every student's success. The revisions proposed are not just reasonable, they are essential. They're about removing barriers to ensure that every child has the opportunity to excel. There are no legal obstacles standing in the way of these changes, only the potential for progress. So I ask you, will you stand as a barrier to this growth? Or will you be the catalyst that helps propel our learners to the school forward
Thank you very much.
and bring back strengths?
Next four, Paul Vanderlei, Gary, Brianna Trump, and Connor Borge.
My wife and I moved here because we learned about the quality of the schools within the PYL-USD, and our boys were rewarded with a rich experience at Sierra Vista. Fast forward to 6th grade, parent-teacher conference, and as we're discussing our boys' education with their teacher, we begin to realize that the structure of our classroom means that our boys are going to receive the minimum education required for them to reach the Common Core baseline standards. So when I hear Dr. Fisher share a vision of building a learning culture of what's next, I'm intrigued. When I hear that students who achieve mastery expectations are given additional assignments or activities to further the mastery of a subject, and that students who are struggling with the subject are offered tutoring to tackle the subject from a different angle. And then, should a student not achieve mastery at major testing benchmarks, they're assigned a mini elective in that subject so that no child is left behind. Well, I set aside my preconceived notions about charter schools and I sign my boys up. Now, this is a discussion. If this school board is capable of effectively governing a school who's actively shifting its learning culture to one of what's next, while at the same time governing the myriad of schools under its purview who are
Thank you very much for
maintaining
your
a culture of reaching Common Core standards.
Thank you. Gary?
My wife and I are proud grandparents of 7 grandchildren. One a recent graduate from Valencia, one will be graduating this year from El Dorado, which thankfully has a new principal. One attends OCSCS and another will soon be entering OCSCS. SC or CS. Additionally, I have 2 grandchildren attending Brea High with another one about to enter kindergarten at PYL. I want to emphasize the need to restore our district's focus on uplifting and supporting our goals. My grandchildren at OCSCS is not only excelling academically, but also thriving in athletics and social relationships. The narrative that OCSCS is an experiment or has failed is simply untrue. The school's leadership is transparent, listens to people feedback, and makes real-time adjustments to benefit students. There's a clear focus on safety and positive school culture and foster.
Thank you.
My name is Brianna Trump. I'm a 3rd generation here at this district. My son is a student at OCSCS. I am also the PTA president at OCSCS. Let's put our differences aside tonight and focus on what matters the most, which is the children. I spend a lot of time there, and I haven't seen any of you at the campus except Trisha. Trisha, I know you see what I see at OCSCS, and I hope and I pray that you give these kids a chance. He's a little nervous.
Hello, my name is Connor Borg. I am in 7th grade at LCSCS. This year has been the best year of all my school years. I love the mini electives I love my teachers, I love the grading system, and I love my school. Please do not take OCSCS away from me and the students of OCSCS. I want to thank Mrs. Fisher, my principal, for the wonderful years she has given me and all the students. Thank you for your time.
Marissa Mallory, Andy Falco, Joshua Lane, and Stephanie Lee.
I no longer have any students in PYL schools. After witnessing his sister's high school experiences, our son chose to go to a private high school where he is thriving. This one child leaving PYL for 4 years cost the district over $50,000. There are currently 14 students in grades K through 12 living on my block. Only 3 attend PYL schools. And annually, that costs this district over $140,000 or $1.8 million over the course of those students' K-12 years. Right now is when the open enrollment windows in our neighboring districts are opening. Those with charters within their limits support those charters and welcoming students from PYL, transitioning them to their traditional public schools once they complete their charter school education. In other words, they won't return to PYL schools. Private schools are hosting their open houses and early acceptance letters have already gone out for 2025-2026 school year. The actions of this board majority have threatened the financial well-being of this school district and harmed the students in its schools. PYL has a motto, notice, meet, and nurture. It wasn't until the reign of President Anderson that I realized that this motto refers to the teachers union, not to the students that they are to teach.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to dispense with my prepared comment because when I found out that Tricia Quintero was there for 3 hours at OCSCS, I'm going to have the faith that she saw the greatness of that school and saw how an amazing principal, Dr. Fisher, was able to put together a program that has changed children's lives. I had the good opportunity with a bunch of friends yesterday to meet with at least 100 parents who have children that go to OCSCS. And it was all the same. Everybody talked about how amazing it was, how it changed their children's lives, and how many of them had simply put their kids in that school because of the planned education that was going to get there. And so I'm going to have faith that Tricia Quintero saw what we see, and we'll do the right thing and vote for everything that they need to continue to be successful. Thank you.
The difference between a good school and a great school is the buy-in from its educators and the people that are involved in the future of our kids. The curriculum that is provided at OCSCS is unique. My child specifically has went from a C student to an A-B student, and it's just been 1 semester. She comes home and talks about the counselors, the teachers, and how they help her, unlike in the past. Most importantly, a 7th grader, my daughter, wants to go to college now. She talks to us about it. She reached out to her family to go on tours to Cal State Fullerton and UCLA where they attend and where you want to hold her back from going. You all should be ashamed of yourself for even fighting this. A 7th grader that went from a C student to wanting to go to college and wants to develop and impact the future is very unique. No C student wants that and goes from that in just a couple months. The future is decided at OCSCS by you guys, and you choose which way my daughter gets to go in life and the impact that she gets to have on the community.
Thank you.
I received this from a credentialed staff member at OCSCS, and I'm reading it for them because they're in fear of being retaliated. Our community collaboration as a group needs to improve. During the last 3 board meetings, some speakers presented misinformation and myths in regards to OCSCS. To the best of our knowledge, these presenters have not visited OCSCS nor had discussions with staff and teachers. When a speaker presented information in contrast to others' opinions, both sides of the aisle engaged in disrespectful behavior by heckling. This is not conducive of a community that is open to the perspective of others. We need to create a forum open to opinions to provide solutions and options for our students.
Okay, the next four. Michelle Tutwiler. Phil Seitz. April, thank you. Linda Cohn.
Hello, I'm an education specialist at OCSCS. I spent 23 years at Bernardi Urban Middle School, and I've been an instructional aide, a student teacher in the district. I'm a resident and a proud member of the community, and I love Placentia Yorba Linda. Over the years, we have seen so many changes in education, and we've always adapted the district, we've always adapted to provide the best for the students. This petition before you represents just another shift and another change in how we educate. Our full inclusion model ensures students remain in general education classrooms, accessing grade level curriculum with necessary accommodations and modifications. This approach fosters belonging and helps students reach their full potential. I have witnessed firsthand students.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My name is Phil Seitz, and I'm the History Department Chair at OCSCS. I've been at Bernardo Yorba, now OCSCS, for 28 years. Since I began, I've heard many rumors for the beginning of the school year. For example, that we're lazy. In reality, our professional days are packed with lesson planning, creating common assessments, coordinating pacing, faculty meetings, and teaching. We dedicate ourselves to supporting 6th through 8th grader students, often working longer hours than many others without complaint. Another rumor is that we're unhappy. On the contrary, spoken to nearly every teacher, the consensus is clear. We're proud of our work, we're aligned with the school's mission, and we're united. Another, that we dislike our union. Not at all. 90% of the staff belongs to a union. We've asked the union to represent our staff, and we for granted autonomy. It's the union who's hesitating to represent the teachers at OCSCS. And finally, that we oppose the charter autonomy. Almost all teachers agree.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to echo the feelings that we would love it if all the animosity would end. We are hoping to come together as a community. I'm asking for those of you on the dais, the election is over. You all have your spots and we appreciate your service. It's not an easy spot to be in. And when you go into the back right now to discuss whatever the possible litigation is, I would ask that you do so based on the facts and the truth in the matter and not trying to win political points with anyone. Because there's some real interests here, all really important things at stake. A couple of things I just want to point out is when this was originally presented, there was an ed code cited 15 days necessary to have things submitted before review. And this pertains specifically to establishment and renewal of petitions. And according to the California Fifth Appellate Court, today's First Start Charter versus Inglewood School District, there's separate procedures and criteria for material revisions. They are not the same. Thank you very much.
I'm Linda Cohn. I'm honored to speak for Tiffany Gonzalez. These are her words. My oldest daughter attends OCSCS, and I have 2 more children that are set to attend as well. Therefore, I have a legitimate interest in this school. Our experience at OCSCS has been thus far outstanding. Not only are there incredible information and transparency for parents, there's open communication. My questions are addressed immediately. Additionally, my daughter has already been building in the innovation lab and she gives a detailed description. This is mind-blowing for my 13-year-old with 0 experience or knowledge of anything before this September. The way the program challenges kids to think and solve problems is fantastic, applicable to getting things done in a real job in the real world where there is ambiguity and undefined realms. This is especially applicable for the job market today. Both my husband and I have worked in the tech industry in San Francisco and have been leading edge companies so that we are speaking with content and experience.
Thank you.
Do the right thing.
Thank you very much. Judy Desjardins, Moises Almanza, Billy Veda, and Leslie Alexander.
Trustee Anderson, did you say he's first?
Yes, you're first. Thanks, Judy.
All right. Yes, I toured the charter school on January 7th, I believe, and Beth Fisher gave me the tour. I also met with the teachers because it was the wind was blowing so hard that the kids didn't have recess. And I did meet with, thank you, sir. And he told me that the teachers actually teach 250 minutes more than your non-charter schools. They are teaching, part of the curriculum is teaching Common Core, teaching math the way that I was taught. Common Core is a disaster. I left there thinking that these students are going to be able to find their passion. And also I saw a young man, a student giving a big presentation, and I thought, oh, at that age, that is really impressive. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, staff. I really don't have a dog in the fight. My son's, this is his last year at the school, but I gotta tell you, he coming from another school system, the transformation. My son went from being a D student and C student to being on the honor rolls. And that's because of Dr. Beth and the staff at the school. They really care about the students. And I gotta ask you, I've never seen, coming from another school district myself back east, I've never seen a school like this that provides such quality and such education to the students. It's amazing. And not affording the other kids this opportunity would really be a crime. I mean, to hear all this bickering and fighting going back and forth, one has to wonder, who are the real adults in the room? Seems like it's the kids. It's really a shame. Don't we all in all, as parents, to want the best education for our children? As a parent, I'll go to any length to make sure that that happens. Thank you.
Hi, I'd like to, first of all, thank you all for, working so hard for the children, because that's our future. And I'm a 15-day-old grandfather. And I was just at a funeral burying a grandmother. And I had nothing really to say, except my daughter loves school. She gets up early, she wants to go to school. She loves her principal. And she sees her friends also love school. And, I come home and I see her like working on school stuff. And I think it shocks me because I have two other kids that went to your school district, they graduated. And my son didn't do very well in school and he always had problems. He was always, bullied. And it wasn't this school, but, this one seems to be really, really nice. And I don't want this, my last child, to experience what they experienced. Yes.
Thank you very much.
My name is Leslie Alexander. I'm the parent of two PYL grads and a retired teacher from Yorba Linda Middle School. I would like to begin by thanking Mrs. Anderson for her patience and for her leadership as president of our school board in restoring this board to duties of oversight and accountability. Your attentiveness and your civility are appreciated. I would like to submit that OCSCS remain a district charter under the oversight of the PYL USD board. The rushed application for the conversion is incomplete and missing several components which are required. This application is not the result of careful planning or thoughtful research that would best serve the students of that school. This is a new school, and there are many pieces that still need refining, ranging from developing a master schedule that is workable from the first day of school to strategies to maintain enrollment. These processes will require supervision, monitoring, and scrutiny. I believe this charter requires more accountability and oversight, not less. Therefore, it should remain a district charter under the guidance of the PY board. board. Thank you.
The next four, Maria Stubbs, Karen, Pam, and Janelle.
Good afternoon, trustees, interim superintendent Gray, staff and community. Maria Lupita Stubbs, parent and PYLSD. Last November at the Orange County School of Computer Science cornucopia event, my young children explored the innovation labs, met their future principal, Dr. Fisher, and teachers, and brought home 3D printed items created by the students. My oldest is excited about attending next year, and my youngest just loved it all. In contrast to my children's excitement over OCSCS, I am reminded that President Marilyn Anderson voted no on funding the Innovation Lab at the May 7, 2024 board meeting. She also voted no on purchasing Singapore math textbooks and other materials for OCSCS students. However, Anderson voted in favor of rehiring a law firm that includes attorney Suki, who creates a common enemy out of charter schools. Bring back Dr. Chernis, bring back Dr. Gates, and stop the attack on OCSCS and our children.
Marilyn. Your legacy is one of boasting about confidential HR matters, yet you offer no timelines for the return of administrators who pose no threat. Marilyn. Return them now. Your legacy includes Christmas coup and hostile Hanukkah. No one is fooled. You have it out for Dr. Chernis, and the other admins are just collateral damage. Marilyn. You can't look at me. The public sees how the board majority manipulates perception with fake legal claims. Meanwhile, students suffer. Set aside your pride and vindictive agenda, bring back our superintendent, let the investigations follow the proper channels. I haven't heard anyone here speak in opposition of OCS, short of the one lady that wants it done differently. This community clearly overwhelmingly supports it, and so any actions that you take to destroy it will only be further evidence of your personal agenda that goes against what the community, parents, students, and teachers at that school clearly want.
Thank you.
I admit I have no idea what the vote is in closed session. I thought 15 days meant you were gonna come to open session and talk about a material revision. So I don't know what's going on here, and I think a lot of community members have no idea what's going on. I just came to suggest the district has a communication and a marketing and therefore a credibility problem. It seems like one side will be loved by that particular side that voted for them, and then the other side will be loved by the people who voted for them. And so we still have a split community, which is not good. I was just gonna suggest that you vote have a study session like we did with the facility fees 3 years ago. We learned a lot of stuff in that study session. We learned that a lot of your executive staff lied to the board members. So I think having a vote, having a discussion, an open session, a study session, we can hear both sides, pros and cons, would be best so that everyone can hear in the open what's happening.
very
Thank you.
My name's Danelle. I have 2 kids in this district and I'm about to make some enemies. I want to preface this by saying that my genuine desire is that this charter school is successful and a benefit to this school district. Unfortunately, OCSCS has not currently had a track record of transparency, honesty, or quality education. What we have seen is a principal who is willing to muddy the waters of her focus and sight with distractions and participate in what is best questionable financial activities. Dr. Fisher has repeatedly demonstrated a willingness to address the community outside of the board through videos, petitions, letters of misinformation, and even influencing parents to or not to attend board meetings. Most of all of this has been documented to the school board in previous complaints. And building a charter school board that negates even a single board member shows a continued aggression and lack of willingness to work with or support the board. This needs to stop being ignored. Dr. Fisher has encouraged a community of discontent and created almost a culture war to avoid transparency and answering difficult questions. Good luck. The last two, Julie Klinkenberg and Paula Powers.
Julie Klingberg, proud of 3 PYL graduates, so I've been an active participant long before these culture wars. I'm a concerned citizen and a hardworking taxpayer. Happy New Year, new Board of Trustees. We have a fresh start, fresh eyes on the approval of a revised charter petition that was hastily made last December. Just wanted to remind the public that on December 12th, 2023, the Board of Trustees unanimously voted to approve the conversion of Bernardo Yorba to a district-affiliated charter school, and I think we should stand with that decision. Keep it under the watchful eye of an informed Board of Trustees who continues to ask good questions to support all learners, use the funding and spaces properly and appropriately. Innovation is good, it's great, but rushing decisions is not. Look at the debacle of USI. Hopefully this current team, that's you guys, can quit pulling audibles in game day decisions. Please refer to a playbook, which includes being transparent, getting solid answers to move forward, and hold each other accountable and fiscally responsible when approving material revisions. We stakeholders want to ensure our students are getting a solid public school education.
Thank you very much.
Time's up, huh?
Hello, Paul Powers. OCSCS has not even been open for a year yet. Why are we already having to revise the charter before it has had a chance to succeed? It is not the right time to make this monumental decision to go independent with so many unknowns. Half the people in this room are under the misconception that you want to close the charter. The board must abide by the contract they made to our community at the start of OCSCS. It should remain a PYL school under the supervision of the board as it was intended to do. That was the promise made to us, and I ask that you keep it. Thank you.
Okay, that is the end of closed session.
I had a couple questions before we go back to closed session, if that's okay.
We have
A couple regarding closed session before we go back. I'm asking questions, yes, about the agenda for closed session before we go into the back.
If you want to ask your question, I can let you know whether.
Okay. So we have under one of, I think it's probably under 3.2, there is a confidential claim that was filed on December 18th, and it's going to come before the board in closed session. However, you have already hired an investigator for this claim, even though the board has given no direction for the claim. And we haven't even seen the claim as a board. We haven't directed anything. We haven't been directed about the claim, but you've hired an investigator for the claim. And so that is actually, where were you given direction and who gave you the claim?
I'll be providing updates about the investigation in closed session.
How come you're not providing this? You're working
It's
outside.
confidential attorney-client privilege communication.
So a board member may have given you a confidential claim because it wasn't the interim superintendent. And
I
you
did
went
not
outside.
get the claim before the night that
So why did you hire the investigator?
I will give you an update in closed session.
So we've admitted we've hired an investigator and the board hasn't even seen the claim. Wow.
Wow.
Whoa, what?
Second, another thing is, I would like to know, I've spoken to, obviously, our own PYL USD charter. I've spoken to Magnolia and I've spoken to CRLA. And none of them have any litigation against us. There's no anticipated litigation. And David Huffis says nothing is actionable until April. So if you can please explain to the community, especially when we have on the open session agenda, we have OCSCS presenting an open. How are we able to go back there if there's no anticipated litigation? And I will say that Suki told Renee Gray that this is something that she does. She puts information under confidential, or I'm sorry, anticipated litigation to be able to get in the back and to be able to brief the board with whatever she would like to brief them with. And then further, in an email that was accidentally sent to me, I would just like to point out, what do we do with this when we have an attorney that is trying to
So I can tell you
I'm
that.
not done. I'm not done.
Okay.
We have an
I'll
attorney.
defer to the board president.
We have an attorney who is essentially trying to.
I think we need to just go.
No, I'm going to sit here because this is.
No.
So let's just go ahead and adjourn to closed session at 4.
No. No.
So Magnolia and CRLA will no longer and definitely should go first in order to create a common enemy with the board. Said the attorney, we're going into closed session, and we have a specific order to our closed session to make a common enemy with the board.
Where are you going?
Where
are you going, Carrie?
Wow.
Wow, on the books.
So much for transparency.
Where are you going, Carrie?
Transparency.
Transparency for who?
Thank you, Leandra.
We have transparency.
What are you hiding, Marilyn?
Can the taxpayers have transparency? Marilyn, can we have transparency in area 2? Transparencia, Marilyn.
Shame on you.
Corruption among us.
We need to get rid of them.
Recall on the shame.
Yep.
It's disgusting. Trying to shut her down. How shameful.
Did you see the attorney nodding to Marilyn, telling her what to do?
I
Just telling her what to do.
Literally told her, I'll leave that to Marilyn today.
I'll leave you a minute. You started going.
Yeah, handle that for me.
People are disgusting. They don't care anything about what all these kids